Welcome to Cinema Chop Shop. Watch, chop, retrofit.
So did you notice I'm cultivating a little bit of lip lettuce?
Oh yeah, are you?
You can't see it, can you?
No.
It's pretty blonde, but I'm gonna connect it down to the chinchilla. The chinchilla needs some company, so I'm connecting the lip lettuce. 2026, man, it's the year of the lip lettuce. It's coming back.
You like one of these young hockey players I see.
Yep.
But this isn't a male grooming podcast.
Yes, you nailed it.
It's Cinema Chop Shop, and lo and behold, we're at the end of 2025.
We made it.
It is time for our annual review of the best movies we saw.
In our opinion.
In our opinion, every year we have to disclaim we're not professionals. We're not paid to watch movies. We haven't seen every movie.
I wish we were.
Me too.
It'd be nice if somebody gave us money.
So this is hardly an exhaustive list, and if your favorite isn't on here, there's a possibility we didn't even see it.
But if your favorite is not on here, or you have a beef or comment or even a compliment, you can always hit us up on Blue Sky or Facebook.
Yeah.
We're at Cinema Chop Shop or at Cinema Chop Shop Podcast, right?
Yeah, that's where they can catch us and be mean to us.
Uh-huh.
We encourage it,
I'm
actually.
a glutton for it.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing that we've discovered is that as the years go by, we were doing the top 19 of 2019.
It was a fool's errand.
Top 20 of 2020, et cetera, et cetera.
Like many of my established rituals and traditions, it turned out to be overwhelming.
And without foresight, because we didn't expect this to go on so long. So this year we're reining it in. We're going to
Instead of doing 25 of 2025, we scaled it down to 20.
Yes, this is just our top 20 of 2025.
Which I think is a good decision, because I plan on doing this for at least 3 more decades, and it would have been a really long show.
From your deathbed.
Yes.
We are also going to try to keep this relatively spoiler-free, I think, since we're not going into deep discussions about each film.
Yeah. And I've got my reviews from the time, and I'm pretty good about not spoiling.
Yeah, I try not to spoil on my Letterboxd reviews. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to start out with our top 5, going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll dive in with our
rest.
6 through 20.
Yes.
Just as a casual discussion. Travis, you're the guest.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So you get to go first with your number 5.
All right, so my number 5 was the 99th movie I watched in this year. By the way, do you know how many movies you watched in 2025? Can you look it up?
Yeah.
We're not, as of this recording, it is not technically New Year's Eve yet, and I'm at 148. So I still have a couple days to knock out those last 2, hitting a nice round 150.
I mean, I still average almost a movie a day.
Oh, wow.
I'm not beholden to it. So
I'm comfortable with 150. There was a time when we were both we
were
guaranteed,
machines.
Yes. But I'm comfortable with 150. I think that's a respectable number. But this was number 99 for me, and it was Weapons, directed by Zach Krager, who people would know from, what is it, The Whitest Kids You Know?
Yes.
Is that right? He's turned successful director, and I said it was an enjoyable new horror film. Not nearly the tonal shift I was expecting from people's reactions, and certainly not to the extent that we saw in his previous film, Barbarian, but I also liked Barbarian. Weapons, this is one that I've rewatched since we saw it in the theaters.
I've seen it a couple of times myself.
Yeah, so that's my number 5.
I had that as my number 8.
Okay.
But that's just because I was very loosey-goosey on how I was ranking the films. It's definitely in my...
Especially outside of the top 5,
It's outside the top 5, but it deserves to be in the top 5. It's just it got muscled out by a few that I preferred more.
Okay.
But I said of the film in my review, Zach Krager employs a clever technique of introducing humor to make the violence and horror elements more palpable. Yet not so much to bleed the movie into a horror comedy.
And we ended up with a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes for
I enjoyed the Rashomon style presentation of the story from multiple chaptered perspectives.
Yeah, for sure.
This, you said it was Krager, and then of course starring another of Julia Garner's films this year that made it big. Also Amy Madigan, Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, and Alden Ehrenreich, among others. Good movie. I enjoyed that one tremendously. My number 5 was Sinners.
Ah, very nice.
This is, of course, Ryan Coogler's directing Haley Steinfeld, Michael B. Jordan, Wunmi Moscow, Omar Benson Miller, and Jamie Lawson.
And Delroy Lindo.
Oh, yes. This was the kind of genre-bending blues / almost a Western, but it wasn't a Western. And is it a spoiler at this point to say it's a vampire movie?
I don't think so. I think that's safe to say. It's like From Dusk Till Dawn, except if it was not supposed to be satirical.
Yes, I think that's an accurate assessment.
And they handle the transition from not vampire movie to vampire movie with a little more subtlety than From Dusk Till Dawn did. I'm glad that you picked that for your number 5 because it's my number 4.
Okay.
So I can piggyback right off of you. I think my favorite parts were the scene with the elaborate melange of black music from a vast range of eras. You know that the scene I'm talking about.
The musical tapestry scene. It's
Yes.
worth the price of admission.
However, doesn't translate as well to audio. I tried to include that in a trivia playlist, and it's not as good without the visuals.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And then, of course, Delroy Lindo. And that ended up with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Very good. Very good. Yes, I think we all enjoyed that. My wife did as well. I think she actually cried during that scene in the film.
Okay.
It was such an emotional journey.
Yeah, and she was just crying over the costumes.
Possibly, yeah. My number 4 was Frankenstein
Very cool.
by Guillermo del Toro,
So good.
starring Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, Oscar Isaac, Christoph Waltz, Charles Dance, and Felix Kammerer.
Now, this was a Netflix movie.
Yes.
Did it release in theaters as
I
well?
believe they did the little thing where they popped it in a few theaters to
Okay.
get that credit, I guess. I don't know if they're still tracking that or not.
Doesn't it have to have a theatrical run to be considered for awards?
I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked Frankenstein also. It's my number 3.
Very good.
This is funny.
Funny how that's tracking. Go ahead with what you reviewed it as.
I can't imagine a modern director who could do a better job with this story. Just magnificent. The sets, the practical effects, the casting and performances are all outstanding.
Yeah, I said this movie was a visual tour de force. Del Toro is a master of gore, and in this shit was medical grade, literally.
Okay, yeah, my mom mentioned that she found it a little bit too gory, and I didn't think that.
No, I didn't find it gory at all because it was so clinical.
Yes.
It was done in a medical sense, so I didn't
Yeah.
find it to be gory, even though we were looking at a lot of
Technical gore.
insides. Yeah, pretty much. I was totally fine with the deviations from the text as it served as an exploration of themes still linked to the book.
Well, like Joey was saying, the book, the source material is what they call epistolary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a collection of accounts that are kind of put together to form the overarching narrative, which is very difficult to do on film.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that in this movie, but it was still very, very effective.
I think Jacob Elordi's performance was incredible. I think he's Oscar worthy. His portrayal of someone so strong and yet so childlike, brute force and kindness at the same time, just really well done with his physical acting in this movie.
A certain amount of naivety, and also even though he's, like you're saying, huge and physically foreboding, what's the word I'm looking for? Fragility or weakness.
Yes, yeah.
Of being. So what was your number 3?
If I had legs, I'd kick you.
Okay, I haven't seen this.
Okay.
I want to watch it. It's got Conan O'Brien in a serious role.
In a serious role. And I didn't know
That's like
why.
the only thing I know about the movie.
I didn't know why mine weren't lining up with yours, but we're off by one. It's because you haven't watched this yet.
Yeah.
This was a movie that was directed by Mary Bronstein. She's also in the film as a counselor. But Rose Byrne is in it. A$AP Rocky, who's really good in this movie.
Yeah, he's good.
And as I said in my review, this is why I chose not to have children. Also Eraserhead. This film is disturbing.
Yeah.
She's not a single mom because her husband, who's played by Christian Slater, is in the military and is away all the time.
Okay.
And so the film starts out with a hole that forms in her ceiling above her bed. And it's just gushing water into the house. And her daughter, who has a medical condition that requires her to have a feeding tube,
Okay.
is at home. And she's like, Mom, why is there water everywhere? And she's freaking out and has to basically leave the apartment while they try to get it fixed. And she ends up at this seedy motel with A$AP Rocky as her neighbor. And not to give too much away, but her child is presented as a lead weight.
Mm-hmm.
The child's face rather is not shown on camera until the very end of the film, which depersonalizes the child. The child's not a character. The child's just a burden in the film.
Right.
And Rose Byrne has to navigate this very, very chaotic and, what's the good word? It reminded me of, that A24 movie with Beau's Afraid is what it kind of reminds me of, in that just that anxiety,
existential dread,
that dread that pervades
Yes.
the entire film. This does it in a different way, but it's there the whole time. So it's not for everybody. This
It's
movie,
funny you said it makes you not want to have children, and that's the opposite of what A$AP Rocky said when he met Rihanna. He got to keep getting her pregnant.
Good call.
So if it's my turn, then that brings me to my number 2.
Okay,
My number 2 is Begonia.
mine too.
Begonia was number 138 for me. At this point, we know the level of oddity to expect from Yorgos Lanthimos. His 4th feature film to star Emma Stone is no exception. And this ended up with an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. No spoilers on this one, because it is in danger of that.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything about it other than, we could set up the plot.
Right.
This Jesse Plemons plays this
Paranoid conspiracy
theorist who has a very simpleton friend who he's recruited into his cause, and he is convinced that there are aliens among us.
Yes.
I guess that's a safe way to say it. And he is convinced that Emma Stone is one of these aliens, and so
she's a high-powered CEO.
Yes,
of a
very much so.
corporation.
And so they kidnap her.
Yes,
and
the rest of the movie ensues from there.
Yeah, and it's kind of white knuckle the whole way, very much so. But it's also funny. Yeah,
it's dark humor in there. It goes by faster than its actual runtime. Really good performances, a small cast. You're really dealing with just Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, and his henchman sidekick guy.
Yes.
For most of the movie. I liked it a lot. There's, of course, that awesome Onion meme about Yorgos Lanthimos where he figures he's just 1 or 2 movies away from hanging out with Emma Stone off the job. Which is funny. If you know anything about him and like his appearance, it's great to picture.
Yes.
All right, so then our number 1s, right?
Yeah, I want to hear what yours is.
Mine, this was number 134 for me, if that gives you any idea. One Battle After Another.
Mine too.
Awesome. Number 1 movie. I'm glad we're in agreement on that. Great movie. PTA is back. Paul Thomas Anderson's most recent feature is a tour de force. This is my review. A gripping story conveyed through more than a few incredible performances. I loved it. And there was at least one performance that stood out to you, right, Shawn?
Oh, absolutely. So the film stars Leo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Teyana Taylor, Chase Infinity, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, and many others. But I'm not a Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I'm about 50-50 on him. So this one really hit me. It was good.
It was no Licorice Pizza.
It was, yeah. It's another one that's funny. It's a funny movie.
It's funny, but the things that are happening that end up being funny in the movie should not be happening and should not be funny.
No, and as you said, I liked one performance in particular. I thought Sean Penn deserves an Oscar consideration for his contemptible portrayal of Lockjaw.
Yes.
Which I thought was a kind of a broad brushstroke type character.
Yeah.
But that man exists, and it's the guy that's on the front lines of ICE right now in Chicago.
Naming him Lockjaw is kind of kind of on the nose,
Yeah.
but intentionally.
Yeah, and when I saw the film, I was like, "Oh, this is such a far-fetched character." Then I see that character on the news, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, he's real!" And
Yeah.
how telling and foretelling this movie was in lining up some of the themes that we see in the headlines every day. I did love the homage to Bullet. You take the car chase with the
Steve McQueen?
the Steve McQueen movie
Okay.
with the sweeping curves of San Francisco, and
Yes.
take those curves and stretch it out over the course of a very long straight highway.
Except instead of curves, it's hills.
I know.
And you can't see what's over the next horizon, even though we, the audience, know what is over those hills.
Precisely. And my hat's off to Bob's poor car. That
Right.
that freaking was it a Nissan, like a 96 Nissan,
I was thinking like a Toyota Celica or
something like that. This year was the year for late model 1990s Asian import cars, because not only was it in this film, but there was a few others where those types of cars showed up and did work. I mean, those poor cars on their last legs were characters in and of themselves, and definitely in this movie.
Cool deal. Well, that's our top 5.
Yes.
Pretty close alignment there. I think that the one big difference is Weapons made it into my top 5, and I didn't watch If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm happy with that. So you want to go with number 6 or not? Well, these aren't really numbered necessarily.
Yeah,
I think
once we're outside of the top 5, it's like in everything else.
Yeah.
But go ahead with your number 6.
Okay, I don't know if you've seen this one yet. Last time I talked to you, you had not. Nouvelle Vague, Richard.
I have not.
Richard Linklater's love letter to French New Wave cinema. It's about Godard's filming of the movie Breathless.
Which you love that cinematic movement and that director and that movie. I think that the stakes on this movie are higher for you than they are for me.
Yeah, and I recognize it for what it is. It's not a great movie on its own, but what it is a very well-crafted companion piece for this movie. It was shot on the same kind of stock with the same kind of cameras that the movie was shot in, so you put them side by side and they look like the same movie. It's almost as if they ran a behind-the-scenes special with the movie, and this was included on, if they had Blu-ray releases back in the day, this would have been on the Blu-ray as kind of a behind-the-scenes featurette almost.
And you might have already said, is this Richard Linklater?
Yeah.
He has that dedication that comes across in one way or another, whether it's filming the same kid over a decade or revisiting the same dynamic between the same two actors 3 different times, or making the physical movie look exactly like it should or would have at the time.
And timely for the film, because you mentioned to me Letterboxd now has a rental service.
Yeah, which is cool.
It's cool. And the first curator of their rental service was Richard Linklater, and he has a French New Wave cinema curation that he put up there. It stars Zoe Deutsch plays Jean Seberg. And then Marbeck is the name of the actor, I believe, that played Godard. And then Aubrey Dolan plays Jean-Paul Belmondo. And he looks just like him. I'm talking dead ringer. I'm like, wow, that's hell of a casting.
Some good face value casting.
Yep.
Okay, well, my number 6 was The Fantastic Four: First Steps.
All right, that's in my outside of my top 10, but I loved it.
It was number 88 of the year for me. I said such a blast, an auspicious beginning for the next chapter in the MCU. If this is any indication, Phase 6 should be outstanding, and that ended up with an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it could be a little higher.
I liked that movie a lot. I felt it was the treatment that the Fantastic Four deserved. It was faithful, more or less, to the original text. And I think they captured a lot of the family spirit of the Fantastic Four comics, which is something I don't think the previous attempts quite achieved. So yeah, it was a crowd pleaser. I enjoyed it, and I also liked the fact that Vanessa Kirby's character had that girl power, mommy instinct kind of thing coming across. good movie. I look forward to seeing how they fit in with the rest of the MCU and these other films. I hope they can pull all this off.
I still have mixed feelings about Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Doctor Doom, though, when he's had such a huge role in the movies leading up to this.
I'm curious what their explanation is going to be.
I don't think there is going to be one. I think it's just they cast the same actor as a different character.
So be it.
My number... What are we on?
Oh, well,
7.
6 or 7.
Okay, next one for me is Wake Up Dead Man. Just caught this recently. It's Detective Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, is back in our third glimpse into Rian Johnson's universe that I'm calling the Knives Outer Space. Trademark, copyright. Lots of fun twists and turns and another top-notch collection of acting talent. This includes your big-name heavy hitters as well as some, at least to me, lesser knowns. And we've got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't realize until after watching this and looking at the cast that the main character, the younger priest, is played by an actor named Josh O'Connor, who's also in another movie from 2025 that didn't make my top 20 this year called The Mastermind, about an art heist. Very good, very different performances. But he's apparently having a moment.
His star is rising. He hosted SNL a few weeks ago, and he was very good. I really enjoyed Mila Kunis's performance in this. And if you listen to this show and follow us this closely, I've been on the fence about these movies, even though I've enjoyed the movies themselves, and I really like Rian Johnson's directing. I've always had a problem with Daniel Craig's Southern accent for Blanc. This time around, he's finally nailed it. He reeled it in a little bit.
I will say that my lovely wife, Michelle, who has a strong Southern accent herself, asked me if that was supposed to be a Southern accent when watching this movie. She saw the first one, missed the second one, and then caught the third.
I just thought he was so over the top in the first two installments. It was just...
He's definitely reeled it in a bit.
So I appreciated that, and I enjoyed the movie. It's a very well-crafted whodunit that kind of keeps you guessing all the way through the end.
And it's very self-aware that it's supposed to be this kind of Agatha Christie-style detective story, in so much that they reference previous tropes in that genre, like the locked room murder.
Sure, absolutely. My number 7 was Bunny.
Yay!
This film was directed by Ben Jacobson, starring Mo Stark and Ben Jacobson, as well as Liza Colby and a few other names that you won't recognize. This is definitely in the vein of Shawn Baker's films.
You had trouble just now remembering your own first name.
No, I knew Shawn. It was the Baker part that wasn't coming to me. He has this knack for grabbing these marginalized characters in urban settings, and this is exactly what this is. This very well-liked guy named Bunny, who is a ne'er-do-well, to say the least, kind of gets caught in if you want to consider The Apartment a bottle, this is like a bottle episode. Almost the entire film takes place in this apartment.
And the tagline for the movie says enough about the plot without being a total spoiler. The tagline is, "It takes a village to hide a body."
Yes.
I really like this movie too, and I brought it to your attention. It's not as high up on my list, but it did make my top 20. I said hilarious dark comedy that is crazy from the jump and only builds from there. The gritty realism reminds me a bit of Shawn Baker's style. The best friend character, Dino, is played by the film's first-time director, Ben Jacobson. And this movie only has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I will say it's not for everybody.
It's definitely not for everyone. I do like the claustrophobic chaos of the movie. Jeez, just saying that phrase reminds me of so many things in that movie.
Yeah, I would totally rewatch.
Like stuffing the friend in the closet. Is there a spider behind me? No. Oh man! All right, so you're up with your next one.
My next one is going to be my number 8 is Superman.
Okay,
the 2025 version. I said phenomenal movie, an absolute must see on the big screen. DC or Marvel, James Gunn seems to have the recipe for success when it comes to these superhero movies. And I think that if you're going to make a modern day Superman movie, you've really got one job, and that is to capture the essence of the Christopher Reeve 80s vibe.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Of all of the attempts henceforth, this one does the best job of that.
Yeah, and I think the reason the Christopher Reeve vibe works so well is that he has that boyish idealism that makes Superman different from all the other characters in comics. And Corn Sweat brought that with his performance, which, by the way, fun fact this time, it's my turn. Fun fact, Superman, played by David Cornsweet, his grandfather was the creator of the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
No shit.
No shit.
That's awesome. I loved those books.
I hope in the next movie they show like one of those books just sitting around. That would be so cool.
That would be a nice Easter egg.
I enjoyed it very much. There was a lot of fan service that was played. James Gunn has a knack for grabbing some of the more obscure characters in comics rather, and bringing them to the forefront. I'm excited to see what he does with some of the characters that he brought out in this one.
I love that he found a place for Nathan Fillion in that, and as well as the Peacemaker series on HBO.
Definitely. My turn?
You're number 8.
We did my number 8, which was weapons. So I'm going to jump to my next one. 28 Years Later.
Nice. This is on my list as well. We saw this in the theater together. This was a Cinema Chop Shop date movie.
Movie challenge date movie. All of us tried to get together to watch it. Unfortunately, Lee couldn't make it, but we did, and that was great. It was the return of Danny Boyle and his franchise from the early 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. This was the continuation, 28 Years Later, starring Jodie Comer, Ray Fiennes, Edvin Feiting, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm not,
the Bone Temple.
Yeah, we try not to celebrate sequels too much, but I thought this one was kind of enough time had passed, and it wasn't really just trying to just continue to cash a check.
And that's also part of the formula of this franchise, is that time has passed.
Right.
It's in the titles. This was my number 10. Fun to see this one with the CCS gang on the big screen. Nothing against Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who did 28 Weeks Later, the one in the middle, as well as a movie that I love called Intacto. But I'm very pleased with the creative re-teaming of Danny Boyle and Alex Garland for this. Something about their chemistry from a production standpoint is working.
The movie gave me Wicker Man vibes, the original.
Oh, okay.
As well as a little Heart of Darkness / Apocalypse Now in the back half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the story progresses in the next installment.
Absolutely. And that movie ended up with an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. So is it my number 9 now?
Sure.
This was the 78th movie I watched this year. Bring Her Back.
It's on my list.
2025, of course. The most recent film from Danny and Michael Philippou, who did the amazing movie Talk to Me.
Yes.
It is genuinely frightening, this movie. It's not, to me, in my opinion, it's not as good as Talk to Me.
I agree.
But it would be hard to be as good as that. Can't wait to see what these two create in the future. And Bring Her Back had an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's about right.
It's been a while since I've watched this, and I had to refresh my memory on some of the plot points, because it's a lot of this character does this character does this, these characters are trying to accomplish this. Yeah, here's my one sentence review. The amount of gaslighting in this movie is astonishing.
For sure.
Child violence and gore. Boy, these guys have it, though, don't they? Mm-hmm. In terms of most people don't touch child violence in film.
And they do it well.
But they do it. They do it very well. You're right. My number 10 is one I doubt is on your list. And it's The Ugly Stepsister.
It's not, and I didn't watch it.
It's directed by Emily Blichtfeldt.
Okay.
Starring Lee Myron, Thea Sophie Loch Ness. Yes, I said that correctly. Flo Figueroa and Isaac Kamroth. So obviously we're dealing with kind of some Dutch names,
Yeah.
some European, Scandinavian names. And this film dips into some of the darker lore of the Cinderella story and talks about the ugly stepsister and the lengths that people will go to achieve beauty and in their hopes to reel in a man, I guess. It's a kind of like a Shudder film. I believe Shudder ran it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong about that.
Now, is it from the Cinderella perspective?
No, it's totally from the ugly stepsisters, the oldest of the stepsisters.
Okay.
Cinderella is kind of incidental to the story. Heck, I don't even know if they call her Cinderella in the story. Here's my review. This one's a complete surprise. And looking back at the original Cinderella story, we find grisly details that prop up the morbid tale. No Disney fiction here. I understand the comparisons to the substance, but this one has the OG text from which to draw its inspiration. I squirmed in my seat several times and even exclaimed several ews throughout. I consider myself pretty jaded to body horror, so high marks there.
Okay.
Bonus points for an awesome synth soundtrack.
Interesting. You wouldn't think that those two would go together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next one I'm skipping down a little bit because we already talked about 28 Years Later. This one was my number 11, and it's one that I don't think is on your list, Shawn. This is The Phoenician Scheme.
Oh no.
The newest Wes Anderson movie. The 13th feature film from Wes Anderson is delightfully whimsical as usual. Plenty of laugh-out-loud moments for casual viewers and the requisite eccentricity for true fans. And it only has a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes, unfortunately.
It's in my honorable mentions.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm a bigger Wes Anderson fan than you are, but you're a bigger body horror fan than me.
No, I enjoyed it. I think even at the time I told you that the issue I had with this movie is that I think that the story would probably lose you if you let time pass. It's like
convoluted.
Yeah, kind of hard to bring back some of the plot points just off the top of your head. In terms of, Wes Anderson's themes of family dysfunction, this one has it in spades.
Yep.
I was down on this movie. I said it seems like Wes Anderson seems to be caught in a rut lately. So, sorry. But I did enjoy, as always, any of his visual aesthetics.
Yeah. What's the next one for you?
For me, Twinless.
Another one I didn't see.
Starring, it's directed by James Sweeney, starring Dylan O'Brien and James Sweeney. It's another one of those movies where the director is the best friend in the film. Not best friend, I shouldn't say that. Neat premise. You're dealing with members of a support group who have lost their twin sibling.
Okay.
And so they're talking...
Twins without their twin.
Right. So they're talking about, their issues. But I can't talk too much about this movie because to go too deep into it really spoils one of the bigger plot points, and that is why the film's title card doesn't come up until about maybe half an hour into the movie. And then you realize, oh, this is why it's called this movie.
Gotcha.
But I will say that Dylan O'Brien is a great actor and deserves a lot of credit for this film. He's quite good, and I don't think enough people saw this movie.
Wasn't he like a teen actor on like the OC or something? Wasn't he like one of those?
I don't know. Let's find out. He was in that MTV Teen Wolf show.
Okay.
And he was in The Maze Runner. So yes, he definitely comes from that kind
mainstream,
of
pop teen.
Yes, and I would dare say, without having seen most of those movies or shows, this performance bucks those trends.
Good.
He puts on his big boy pants.
My list is taking a much more lowbrow turn for this next one. And it was number 105, the 105th movie I saw this year. The Naked Gun.
That's my number 20.
Excellent.
Yep, it made my list.
The Naked Gun. Funniest, not the smartest movie I've seen in a long time. Neeson is perfect for the role of Frank Drebin's son, taking up the mantle of the police squad. Really low, unless this is a typo, I've got 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
That can't be right. That has to be a typo. It must be 77%. But yeah, Naked Gun is my next one.
I liked it. I thought Pam Anderson was precious in that movie.
And I still don't know if she and Liam Neeson actually dated.
You know,
it might have been a publicity stunt. It might not have. It doesn't
I
matter.
think
It's
it
cute.
was a publicity stunt, but they were very cute together. Let's see if I can find this Rotten Tomatoes for you. 87%.
87. Okay.
So much higher than a 7%.
Like, whoa, they really didn't like it.
All right, my next movie is one that I know that you saw, The Baltimoreans.
Baltimoreans was good. It didn't make my list.
Didn't make your list?
I did like it, though.
Directed by Jay Duplass, starring Michael Strassner and Liz Larson.
One of my favorite parts of that movie, well, there's two things I liked about this movie. One is a very small part where they're at the ex-husband's house and they're talking football, and he says, "I miss Flacco," and he says, "Yeah, I bet you would. He was the last white one, right?" And it was just such a quick, to the point barb that it almost flew over the guy he was talking to's head.
Yep.
And then the other thing, one of the big parts about this movie is the main character's sobriety. And he's a comedian, an improv comedian. And the fear that you're not going to be funny when you're sober is a real thing that I, having been sober over the past year, actually experienced and was afraid of.
Right.
So this one resonated with me.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good meat on the bone. It's about a guy who goes in to get work done on his tooth, like on Christmas Day or
Correct.
Christmas Eve.
I think it's Christmas Day, and she's the only
person.
open.
And then things kind of go horribly wrong for him, and she kind of helps him out, gives him a lift to the impound lot, and then gets into some shenanigans, and then they just hang out for the day.
Yeah.
And her not so great life as well comes into play, and it's a very quaint small picture. And
At the time, you said that it would make a good double feature with The Holdovers.
Yeah.
From last year or the year before.
Right.
Paul Giamatti's Christmas, not so Christmassy Christmas movie.
yeah, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was sweet. It's not perfect by any stretch, but I felt it was worth mentioning for anybody who has not seen it.
All right. Well, my next one is Opus. This movie is very weird. It stars Ayo Edebiri, who people would know from The Bear. It was the 39th movie I saw this year, but number 13 on this list. A young writer, played by Ayo Edebiri, and a select group of seasoned music journalists are invited to the secluded compound of an iconic pop star, played by John Malkovich, that hasn't been seen or heard from in decades. It is immediately apparent that she and her colleagues are amongst a deranged cult that is dedicated to him and his plans for them. I could have done without some of the more gross out scenes, but they are part of what makes this movie so weirdly good. This one only has a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I steered clear of this one just because of some of the bad publicity and press that it got.
It was weird enough for me.
Okay, that's fair. I was intrigued by it when I saw the announcement of the film. And then I started hearing things of people were like, no, it's not that great.
Well, Malkovich is perfect as this reclusive,
I could totally buy into that,
rock star turned cult leader.
My next film is The Life of Chuck.
Okay.
Mike Flanagan film starring Tom Hiddleston, Jacob Tremblay, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, and Mark Hamill is in this.
Yeah. I wonder what it was about this movie that just didn't quite do it for me. Because a lot of people really liked it.
I thought it was it's a sweet movie.
Yeah.
It's just pure cheesy movie magic. There's some low hanging fruit, and they probably take advantage of the audience a few times with the story and the reveal at the end of what's going on.
And for Mike Flanagan, it's decidedly not scary.
Yeah, it's a different kind of animal for him. But I just thought it was a sweet movie, and sometimes you just want a sweet movie, and that's why it made my top 20.
Right on. Did not make my list, but my next one is Companion. Companion with Jack Quaid and the girl, I forget her name. She's also in
Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher. Thank you. Companion. Pretty fun sci-fi thriller with some comedic elements as well. A few twists that I didn't see coming, and some stuff I wish they would have explored more. It's hard to say too much about this one without spoiling.
I wanted to really like this movie, but I felt it dipped its pen in the Ex Machina ink a little too much.
Okay.
And a little bit into the Megan movies a little too much.
Okay. Not nearly as over the top.
No, definitely not. No, I don't want to make you think that. But I did feel that there was some derivative stuff that kind of kept it from being in my top 20.
Well, I also just wanted to make sure that Nepo Boy number 1, Jack Quaid, was represented.
I do like Jack Quaid a lot. He's cool. Novocaine didn't make it into my top 20 either.
It's one of my honorables.
Yeah, it's one of my honorables. Yeah. My number 18 is the movie So Torn.
Yeah, really good, man. This should be one of my honorable mentions.
Directed by Freddie McDonald. This was released in 2025, even though it premiered in 2024 at South by Southwest.
This movie is the definition of under the radar.
Yes, very much so.
Because it wasn't very widely promoted. It was shelved for a while. When it did come out, you watched it. You told me about it. I waited a while, then watched it. Really liked it. Forgot to check it in at the time that I watched it, and then later when I was coming up with my top movies of 2025, I was like, wait a minute, that movie was 2025.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking good.
Yeah,
it's a lot of really cool practical effects.
Yeah. So
a Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, it's got echoes of Run Lola Run.
Yeah.
You've got a seamstress who, after leaving a job that was not treating her well, comes across a drug deal gone bad and inserts herself into the narrative.
Or does she?
Exactly.
It's got some sliding doors mechanics.
And so what happens is the story plays out in a multitude of different ways.
Like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, very much like a choose your own adventure where we're bending time and following various threads, if you will.
Yes. I liked this one a lot. It definitely should have made my honorable mentions. Good movie. My next one is Thunderbolts with an asterisk. Because they put that in the title. Fun ensemble cast and characters, a fitting end to Phase 5 of the MCU. And that one ended up with an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. I like everybody in it. I thought that David Harbour was great. Nothing to not like about this movie. It was just a fun Marvel movie.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and the director definitely set himself up very well, because after he completed this and it got such a good reception that they tagged him for some other stuff down the line. So he's assured himself of some future films that are going to have even bigger budgets, if you can believe that. My final movie in my top 20 is Heart Eyes.
Heart Eyes was good.
Directed by Josh Rubin, the comedian.
For some reason, I thought that was 2024.
No, it came out for Valentine's Day. Starring Olivia Holt, Mason Gooding, Jordana Brewster, and Devon Sawa, your buddy.
Yeah, my boy.
This movie is what would happen if you took a Hallmark film and made it into a horror movie.
And their names, the detectives' names, are Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes.
Which is a reference to the Fast and the Furious movies. But is it not also a reference to, like, philosophy? Like Hobbes, the philosopher, and Shaw?
I think so, yeah.
I think it is.
So, for anybody who's not heard of this movie, you've got a killer called the Heart Eyes Killer, or H-E-K, if you want to be one of those murderino types. And he kills... or she kills couples, romantic couples. And our main characters in the movie get mistakenly pegged as a couple, even though they're not. So they're spend the entire film trying to avoid being killed by Hard Eyes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there an element to this where there's been a long hiatus in Hard Eyes Killer killings, and then he comes back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and don't want to give away much more than that.
It's a good slasher.
It's fun. It's funny. I mean, it's
self-aware.
Very self-aware, very funny. If you enjoy the Scream movies for its self-awareness, then you'll like this movie.
Yeah, it does that well. Did you say that that's your last
Yeah.
of your 20? Because I've got several more here. How did that work?
I don't know.
right,
You've talked about all my other ones.
Okay. My next one is going to be Together with Dave Franco and Allison Brie, real life couple.
That's in my honorable mentions.
Okay. This was 97 for me, number 16 on this list. Enjoyable and not too gross body horror starring real life couple Dave Franco and Allison Brie examines the nature of codependent dynamics in relationships.
Yes.
That's to say the least. I also think it's kind of funny that for the two people that you're going to have in this movie about being too close together physically, you pick these pretty exemplar physical specimens in Dave Franco and Allison Brie. It's like, ew, Allison Brie, ew, you know?
Yeah.
Funny movie.
I enjoyed it. I laughed out loud at several things in the film, and I was really hoping that the end of the film would end with the needle drop of Lionel Richie Stuck on You.
Yes.
But it didn't, sadly.
Should have. Missed boat. Next, I've got the lone animated movie in my list. This is Predator: Killer of Killers.
I have not seen this.
Now, this is director Dan Trachtenberg's connective tissue between Prey from 2022 and the now released Predator: Badlands, because he directed all three. This is an animated feature consisting of multiple vignettes set in different time periods that all, even though the layout in the movie is anachronistic, the characters are connected.
Okay.
And it's got a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. I really liked this. I think I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd.
I have not seen that yet. Did Badlands make your top 20?
It didn't.
Yeah. I enjoyed Badlands. I felt that the end of the movie got a little too MacGuffin-y.
Uh-huh.
It was like, come on. We got to get across the finish line sooner or later with this movie.
I really liked her legs. I thought her legs did a great job.
Her legs did a great job.
The next one is Bunny, which we already talked about.
Okay.
And then I've got my last two here. The reason that they are my last two is because technically, if you look it up on Wikipedia or Letterboxd, it's going to say 2024. However, this first one didn't release in theaters until April 4th of 2025, and that is Freaky Tales. Freaky Tales from 2024. Punks fighting Nazis, rap battles, a crooked cop, an enforcer seeking redemption, and a Zen basketball star out for vengeance. What more could you ask for?
I've not seen this.
It's good. It's really good. Pedro Pascal is in it. It takes place in the 70s, like at the birth of hip hop. Actually, no, not the 70s. It's later than that, but just really fun movie. And a similar situation with number 20 for me. This was also technically released at the Edinburgh International Film Festival in 2024, but it wasn't released in theaters until June of 2025. And that's going to be a movie we talked about called Sunlight.
Oh.
Sunlight. Very dark comedy written and directed by comedian/ventriloquist Nina Conti. Radio man Roy Belvedere attempts to hang himself in an Albuquerque motel room when he sees a person in a monkey suit watching him. When he wakes up, he's been kidnapped. What ensues is nothing short of magical. I didn't mention that their escape is in a giant banana-shaped RV akin to like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Nice.
Really cute, touching, darkly comedic.
I like Nina Conti's comedy. She's very, very
she's
funny.
She's really good in this, although you don't see her for most of the movie because she's in this monkey suit. Things go really off the rails in this movie.
So that's your top 20?
That's my top 20, man.
All right, let's do some honorable mentions.
All right, my first one we already mentioned as an honorable mention, and it's my number 33, Novocaine, the 33rd movie I saw this year. Novocaine with Jack Quaid. A silly but unique premise that leads to a fun, over-the-top action comedy. The basic premise is this guy is born with a rare medical condition that affects his central nervous system, and he can't feel pain.
Yes.
And so that could lead to some very funny things, some very dangerous things. One thing I didn't get in the movie, he had to set timers to remind himself to go to the bathroom because he wouldn't.
He can't feel the pressure of his bladder.
But wouldn't he just pee himself? Would he in the movie? He's like, I would die. But wouldn't he just pee his pants?
I enjoyed Mid Thunder in that.
Oh,
Amber Mid Thunder. Speaking of Prey, she was quite good in this. And funny, we were just talking about the movie Reindeer Games. This movie shares a little bit of that contrived relationship between the characters.
Oh, yeah, the pretending to be.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, good point. And then I've just got one more, and it's The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, I never saw that.
Which, again, technically made in 2023, but then shelved for years for whatever reason. Development hell. Crazy that this took so long to find a theatrical distributor. So very bad in the best way. You can tell that Lloyd Kaufman was involved as a producer because they really lean into the trauma vibes. We got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I put Eleanor the Great in my honorable mentions.
Remind me?
It's a June Squibb movie.
Oh, yeah. Is there a Ferris wheel in the background?
Yeah, in the movie poster, it has Coney Island plays into it. Directed by Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's one of those movies you can watch with your mother. It's that kind of film. You know, it's not groundbreaking. It's not going to challenge you. It's got enough meat there for you to enjoy it, but also you can see it with a family member without anything controversial, unless they have issues with if they're Holocaust deniers.
Or they just hate old people.
Or they hate old people, but June Squibb's a national treasure.
You know, even if you hate old people, they're easier to fight because it's easier to catch them. They can't run very fast.
I put Good Boy on my honorable mentions.
Fuck that movie.
Because I know Travis doesn't like it.
I didn't like that movie.
I, as the owner of a special needs neurodivergent dog.
I don't like that dog either.
Yeah, well, my dog doesn't like you.
It's true.
I enjoyed it because I do know where that dog was coming from. When dogs with anxiety...
They see shit.
They see shit. And then my last film I put on here was Tim Robinson's movie Friendship.
Okay, I wanted to like that more than I did.
I didn't particularly like it as much as I was really fascinated by Tim Robinson's character. Because it's easy to watch that movie and say, oh, that's just Tim doing his character from all of his stuff. But I started thinking about the movie, and I consider his character to be one of the most... narcissistic characters I've ever seen on film, because he's so self-absorbed that all the context clues get right past him. His wife's cheating on him the whole movie, and he does not catch on because he's so into himself. And for that reason, I kind of spent way too much time thinking about a movie that didn't really deserve that space in my brain.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's our top 20 of 25. I think it was a good year for movies.
In a year that was a total shit show, the worst year on record since 2020.
How do you mean?
2025 was a shit show in terms of like geopolitical happenings and cultural things and progress. It was bad, but some damn good movies came out, and I hope that these lists help some of you steer in that direction of some quality cinema.
Yep, absolutely. Also, the other thing you wanted to mention, which was at the day of this recording, there are just a few days left in the year, so
I
there
haven't
might
seen Zootopia 2.
There might be
It's
few
supposed to be good,
that get in under the wire. Our next episode will be
seen that movie about David.
Jesus. Our next episode will be the fruition.
Avatar.
Will be the fruition of our White Elephant Party. We'll be
that's
doing
gonna be fun.
our
We're doing this
exploitation movies.
Exploitation in so many directions.
It's going to be really bizarre. What a way to start off 2026.
Yeah.
By
And
talking
2026 has to be better. It has to be.
We'll see.
Law of averages means it has to be better.
You got to roll sevens at some point.
Shout out. Can I do a shout out?
Sure.
I want to do a shout out to my mom, who is back at home recovering from open heart surgery that she had earlier in December. So shout out to you, Mom. She listens sometimes. Hopefully she hears this. You're doing great. Rock on.
Got some RIPs that are probably closer to home than some of our listeners, but
Yeah.
we lost some people this year that are sad that we saw them leave us. And then at the date of this recording, Brigitte Bardot.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Brigitte Bardot.
As much more than an actress, she became a huge animal rights activist
Yep.
for the back half of her
And
life.
LGBTQ activists.
Yes, totally. So it's kind of easy to get bogged down with that kind of thing at this time of year. But remember the ones that you love, and we always end our episodes talking about that, to tell people you love them and
Tell your friends you love them.
and take the opportunity to embrace those that are close to you, because you never know what's going to happen. Follow us on social media. Travis already mentioned it, but we're Cinema Chop Shop on everything except for Blue Sky and YouTube. We're Cinema Chop Shop Podcast there. And stick around for the next episode. We got some fun stuff planned for this coming year. So thank you for listening, and rate, review, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. And in the meantime, please remember to watch, chop, retrofit.